Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, and yourself?
I'm good. Trying to get this glare off my window. Oh my goodness.
It's all right for me.
Okay, long as you can see
Good.
me,
I
I'm just like, I'm gonna have to work on that the next time. It's like a big old spotlight.
I know
Okay.
that might
Hello.
be a blessing. That's the sunlight we need, the shining.
Yes, yes.
Hello,
Hello.
how are you?
I am fine. How are you?
Good.
Good, wonderful. Just
Hope you both are doing well.
yeah, I'm trying to
Yes.
manage the meeting. We have 3, 4, 5. Let me see. I gotta admit some people. Okay, Kimberly F. Alicia Hart. Frank. Robinson Pierre. Robertson. Pierre. Estep. Sutton Brewer. Sutton. Williams. Well, let's see. I think I can do a light. Okay, it is 7 o'clock by my time. We'll go ahead and get started. First of all, I want to thank each of you for participating and coming on. I have a really good group of students who have shown up tonight, and I thank you so much. I appreciate it. It shows your desire to be successful. So prior to getting started, let's just pause for a moment of silence, please. Okay, I will not, thank you. I will not take attendance because we can't count it. So what I did do, I took attendance on my roster so that I would at least know who had participated in the event that I get some questions. The meeting is vitally important, and I hope that what we provide tonight, that I provide tonight, will be conducive to your success in the class. We're going to go over your Moodle shell because I only have I have 2 computers at home. At work, it's usually more than that. So let me see if I can get everybody so I can see most of it. Yeah. So I'm going to talk from an iPad and talk to you. So if you can pull up your course in the midst of what we're doing, please do so. If not, you can listen. I will take a minute before we go on to ask how's everybody doing. Anybody having any extra challenges that everybody else maybe is not having? Everybody seems to be doing okay, and you can just thumbs up to let me know that everything is going well with you and your families. Okay. Okay. And all I'll say to that is stay well and stay safe. Okay. And I need you to raise your hand. I have to do 2 things here to make sure I'm bringing everybody in that needs to be here. If you have your Moodle shell up and running, I have posted for you a welcome, getting to know your professor. If you want to read it, fine. If you don't, it does not matter. And of course, I ask that you introduce yourself and I'll get to know you. I would do that tonight, but I would have to unmute everybody. So if you send me that, I'll read about you. And of course, your syllabus. I hope by now that you have looked at it. I hope that it is up to date and it is user friendly for you. However, follow Moodle. Sometimes we may have missed something, but if you follow your Moodle course shell, you'll be fine. So the syllabus is there if you need to refer to it in the event that you have a question and you can't get up with me. But if you follow your Moodle shell, you will be on target. Okay, let's see. And of course, attendance will be taken Wednesday of this week, and I know most of you probably already know that. So you have to respond to the fact that you accept the syllabus and that you are willing to participate in the class. So I will take attendance on Wednesday, and then attendance, as you know, will be taken on Sunday, henceforth now and forevermore for the rest of the class. And I will tell you that assignments for this class are due on Saturday night by midnight, and we'll go over the assignment guidelines for that. Additionally, you have your supplement to your syllabus. Please look over that. And then, of course, you have in your shell Wednesday, week 1 attendance and acceptance of syllabus. And then I have your assignment guidelines. I just posted those this afternoon, but I'm going to read those to you, and we're kind of just going down the Moodle. Make sure that whatever you submit to me, that your name is at the top of each and every page. If it's a 2-page document that you submit, please make sure that your name is on both of those pages. You might like to create a header. It's okay. If you don't, I don't care, just as long as your name is on your page. And let me tell you why. And this might not happen. You'll be finished before I'm sure we go back to campus. A lot of times when I have to print off on the community printer and I have to go get it, then papers might get disheveled or somebody may pick up a paper. So if your name is on it, I can find it. So, and it's just easy for me to remember whose paper I'm grading at that time. So if you don't mind, would you please kindly make sure that you put your name on all of your assignments? Because if you don't, I will take 10 points. Make sure you copy and paste your instructions from the Moodle to your assignment so that you, for one, won't have to go back and say, well, what did she ask me to do? So if you make sure you copy it, copy your assignment. Now let's just say, for example, that the assignment was, please explain each of the 10 terms. You copy the directions and then you list your 10 terms. But you don't have to list the 10 terms and then relist them. Once you list them one time, you can go ahead and respond to that. But just make sure you copy your directions. That's what's important here. And it also keeps me in the loop as to what we're supposed to be doing, because once I've checked 5 or 6, I might forget what I'm supposed to be doing. But anyway, it gets to be. So make sure you copy and paste your directions. If not, you'll be deducted points for that. I need you to make sure that your work is scholarly. In other words, You may use your textbook as well as any other updated resources that you can find, because I need you, as I said, to document and cite all your work. And I say that because you're not experts at the time. And at this time, we haven't written books, we haven't written articles, so there are some people out there that have done the research for you and have studied for you. So make sure you utilize those resources, because it helps to enhance your knowledge of the subject matter. The more you read, the better you will be. And of course, the more knowledgeable you will be. So just make sure you cite your papers. And of course, for education, we use the APA style. And if you want to Google Purdue OWL, it's usually helpful. But by this time, you probably pretty much know what you need to do in order to cite a paper, okay? All assignments are due Saturday, as I said, by midnight. Saturday by midnight at 12. I've gone through your Moodle shell. I hope I have updated it. But if sometimes because there are a lot of assignments, we might miss something. We have to do it every time we teach the class. So if you see something, if you see a date that's not correct, shoot me an email and I'll try to get in and get it corrected for you. But I think I've gotten most of those corrected for you. So assignments are due Saturday by midnight. That way I can look back and see who has participated in the class for your attendance on Sunday. And you must have at least 80% of your assignments to receive a code of present. So if you do half of your assignments, I could mark you absent, but I'll probably say excused, just so that you won't take a great big hit on not being present for the class. And as I said, attendance will be based on your assignment. I'm reading from this sheet. I don't want to miss anything, but it's uploaded. If you can see it, they are uploaded in your Moodle shell. There's a 30-point penalty for your late assignment, so get them in on time. What happens with that is, if your assignment is late, I grade the assignment. If you make 70, then I'm going to minus 30 points. So do your best to get your assignments in, unless we can talk about something. If it's something that's very, very important, you just can't get it done, just let me know. Just try to remember to communicate with me. But if it's late because you just forgot it or you were busy doing something else, it's a 30-point deduction. Make sure your documents, and this is repetitive, make sure you document all your answers, and your answers should be scholarly. I don't mind you injecting your opinions, but I need you at this point to gain all of the professional knowledge that you can. I need you also to remember this, that your exam, your final exam is already listed with the date. It's in week 8, but it's a few days earlier than the course expires. So make sure that you go through your Moodle shell, read each and every one of your assignments, even after tonight. Go through those and read them to make sure that you understand what it is you have to do, and kind of solidify in your mind what's due when, okay? Especially that exam. I had a couple of students in this last class that missed their exam. So, when I sent out an email and everything, I know we're all busy, but just know that your exam is due earlier than the end of the class, okay? So I'm telling you that up front. I told them, I don't know, maybe they didn't attend the meeting. I don't remember. Let's look at week 1. And of course, all of you had pretty good chance of getting on tonight, and I'm glad of that. The first assignment for week 1 is your where do I stand inventory. Now, I know it's difficult about getting books. How are we doing with that? Since we're not there. Have you ordered them or what? Books, you have books? Okay. So your where do I stand inventory is in your textbook. It's in your textbook. So I need you to complete the inventory. And once you complete the inventory, I need you to scan it. And then you will discuss your results in the forum. Okay. So that's simple. I think you'll enjoy the inventory as well. Also, we are required by the state of North Carolina to complete what we call the PPAT. It's the Practice Performance Assessment for Teachers, which is sponsored by ETS, the Educational Testing Service. So if you would, and it's in your shell, if you like, it is www.ets.org, and you are looking under Praxis, and you are looking for PPAT. And we are required to do task 1 in EDU 487. I got a chat, hold on a second. Let me see what they're saying. No textbook. Yeah, I do not have a way to scan. No textbook either, no book. Just ordered today. Okay, if you don't have your book, do you plan to order your book? If you plan to order your book, then that's fine. We'll wait on that. Now, if you have a cell phone, you can download something called a Tiny Scanner. Tiny, Tiny Scanner. Okay, download Tiny Scanner. Maybe, yeah, Tiny, T-Y, let me see. I'm sorry. Tiny Scanner, and you should be able to scan documents from your phone. Let me see if I can find that. I may have deleted it. It's a Tiny Scanner. Tiny Scanner. Download Tiny Scanner, and you can scan your documents and then upload them, okay? Let's see.
Dr. Bell.
Yes.
There's actually, I know many people have iPhones, and if you go into your notes and you click your, you click the little camera.
Notes, camera, okay.
Yeah, the camera in the middle, and it says scan documents, and you can do it that way as well.
Okay. Did y'all get that? If you have an iPhone?
Yeah, you just go to notes.
Go to notes. Go ahead.
And click the camera. And then after you click the camera, it'll say scan documents, take photo library, and then you just click scan documents and then get that way.
Thank you. Good job. I appreciate that. Good.
No problem.
All right. So now so we're good with the first assignment that's due by Saturday. And there's just a forum. The state has required student teaching interns to complete the PPAT assessment. PPAT has 4 tasks. Oh gosh, let's see. I knew it would leave. Anyway, I'm just going to explain it to you. I'd love to show it to you, but I hate to take the chance on losing you. So I won't go there with that. So if you listen, and then maybe tonight before you go to bed, go to the website. I'll do my best to explain that to you. There are 4 tasks, and we are going to complete task 1. We will complete task 1, and task 2, task 3, and task 4 will be completed in other classes. What we're doing is trying to help you to develop an understanding of the task prior to your student teaching internship. So we get you acclimated to what it is that you have to do. And then your tasks have to be completed when you're doing your student teaching internship. There is a passing score that you have to make 40, I think, to pass, and a 44 if you were to be deemed what they call highly qualified. So if you can get 40, you've done extremely well. So what we're going to do, I'm going to slide through those because I want to let that be the last thing that we talk about. But I do want you to remember that PPAT task 1 for this class is due week 4. So I want to give you enough time to gather the information and get it in place. And we'll talk about that. Praxis performance assessment for teachers. It's the first task is knowledge of students. The second task is assessing and data collection to measure and inform student learning. Task 3 is designing instruction for student learning. Task 4 is implementing and analyzing instruction to promote student learning. And with that, you have to develop a 15-minute video. That 15-minute video could be 3 5-minute unedited segments, or it can be a total of 15 minutes unedited. So, but you'll have time to look at that. But right now, your focus is on task 1, and we'll discuss that at the end of this meeting. Looking at week 2, I have provided for you a video as it relates to cultural diversity, brown eyes, blue eyes experiment. Some of you may have already seen that. If not, I hope you'll enjoy that. And at that time, you are to, there are several questions, about 10, maybe 15 questions, and you only have to answer 5 of those. I have asked that you develop a Prezi presentation with some diversity terms. If you can develop a Prezi, I think it will just be helpful for you to know how to utilize that. The instructions are there to guide you through that. If not, I will accept the PowerPoint presentation. Week 3 is your societal context. There are lots of terms and factors that affect our students as they come to us in the schools. So that is chapter 9, I think. I need you to thoroughly read that chapter. You may take notes for yourself. Chapter 9 may be important to you for your final exam, so that's why I say take notes and read and be prepared for that. There's a forum discussion after you've read, and of course, there are 2 forum discussions for week 3. Now, week 4, a couple other videos for you. Try not to make it boring for you. I know you'll enjoy these. As we talk about students being resilient in the face of a societal context. And I know, poor things, they've been so resilient now. It's with what we're going through, but I think we've all been kind of resilient as to see you here tonight. But anyway, I think week 4 is pretty good. 2 videos and a forum, 2 forums, 2 videos, and then of course, I asked you to list very simply Steve Perry's principles. And then week 5, we're going to talk about some of the laws and policies that affect our schools as it relates to our children. Week 6, we're going to talk about similarities and differences for exceptional children and gifted learners. Week 7, we're going to talk about exceptional children as it relates to English language learners. Of course, there's a forum discussion. And then, of course, you have a reminder at week 6, final exam is due Wednesday, June the 24th. Week 7, final exam, 24th, just a reminder. And then, of course, you have week 8. I did that after I had a couple of people to miss. So, all right. And then, of course, the final exam and a couple of assignments during that time. So just make sure you read and just follow directions. Please look at if it were me, I would, if you get a minute, print off your assignment guidelines. And as you complete an assignment, go down the assignment guidelines. Say, okay, I have a header. I've referenced it. I've copied and pasted. If you checked it off every time, because I know now students don't do it. Sometimes I have a 100 assignment and I have to take out 20 points because students didn't follow directions. So follow directions. It's important. And if you are a teacher, you know how important it is to follow directions. So just please do that. All right. Any questions, any comments, any concerns? And I will follow this up with an email to you tonight because I know I don't have everybody on. So when I send the email, either print it off and read it if you have the time. All
Dr.
right.
Bell,
Yes, ma'am.
I do have a question on your paper. I believe the link of your papers, is there I know that we answer the questions that you have on here.
I don't assign links to papers because here's what I need you to do. I need you to cover the information thoroughly that has been asked. You might can say it in 5 pages and somebody else might take 7. Hey, what I don't like to see is repetitive nonsense information. Hit it and quit. Do what you need to do. Take care of your topic. And if it's just the definition of a word, you know, a good sentence, 3 or 4 lines. And if I asked you to identify something, make sure you explain it. Always explain it. If I say identify, I try to make sure I've covered that. But make sure if I ask you to identify, explain it. Don't just list it. Make sure that you explain it. And whatever it takes you to explain will be fine with me. If you're on your Moodle page, y'all excuse me, talking. If you go back to your Moodle page, go back to week 1 where I've listed all of your PPAT assignments. You will see that you have, I've listed some instructional strategies because that's going to be really, really important. You need to know the difference between instructional strategies and learning activities. And I have posted a information page for you. Please pull that down tonight and look at it. And instructional strategies are the just the strategies, the methods that we use in order to teach a lesson. And then when you talk about the learning activities, the activity that you use in order to teach that lesson. Let's say cooperative learning is an instructional strategy. So maybe your learning activity will be that you put all the students you put the students in groups, and then they were to identify the colors based on the chart. So you see the difference? You have a strategy, and then you have a learning activity. So I hope I have clarified those in that document that has been uploaded. Okay, once again, when is the PPAT Task 1 activity due? Week 4.
Week 4.
Good job. Week 4, thank you. So you know that everything. So what we have is, it's gonna be difficult. How many of you teach? You have a class, okay. If you've been in the classroom, and let me make sure I've admitted everybody, y'all. Ooh. Okay. If you have a classroom, then you can use your classroom for this assignment. You just have to think back to what I left back in March, but it'll be okay. If you don't have a classroom, I have uploaded for you a classroom demographic scenario. So you may use that scenario for your PPAT Task 1. So then you're gonna have to make up some things, and it'll be okay. I think it'll work for you. But if you have a classroom, use your classroom. We have what we call guiding prompts. I've uploaded that document for you. Can you open it up so that you can see it? Okay, if you can, we'll talk about that. Then you have your artifacts. There are 4 artifacts that you're going to have to upload, and they're uploaded separately. The first artifact is what they call the contextual factors chart. The second one is your instructional and support resources chart. And then you have your introductory communication, and then you have your student interest inventory. Your contextual factors are things like, what does it look like in your community? What does it look like in the district? What resources do you have in the school? And I'll try to go back and show you that. Those are the contextual factors. And then the instructional and support factors are those things that you can find within that school system that will help your students be successful in the school. So we'll look at that. Your introductory communication is just maybe a letter home. It may be a flyer home to your parents. It may be an email document that you send to your parents. And the task will tell you what to include in that letter home. Okay. So what you'll do, you'll write the letter to the parents, and then of course, once it's written, you'll upload it to Moodle. Then they'll ask you for an interest inventory. Most of you know what an interest inventory is. If you don't, you need to look it up. It's just when you provide a sort of a test to your students to find out maybe what kinds of things they like, maybe where they want to go, whatever the interest inventory is. And you do not have to develop the interest inventory yourself. You may find one that's already developed. You're welcome to use it. I don't have a problem with that. A lot of times it will just say, what are your interests, especially for early childhood education students. What are your interests? What do you like? What's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? Something as simple as that. But you have to remember that you're going to have to utilize it as a teaching tool. So you may develop your own interest inventory, or you can find one that has already been developed, and it must be uploaded. Now, as I said before, stop me if you have to. There are 4 artifacts. All of those artifacts must be uploaded. You must upload your contextual factors chart. There's a space for that. There's a space for your instructional and support resources chart. There's a space for your introductory communication. That's your letter home to parents. And then there's an upload for your student interest inventory. Now, there's also an upload for your guiding prompts. And I will show you this. I sent this to you. You can't see it. I have outlined that for you. I know you can't see it, but I just want you to see what it looks like. It is 3 pages because it's long. But what I need you to do, for example, knowledge of students, step 1, and in text box 111, community, district, school, contextual factors that influence instruction. The activity is completing the contextual factors chart. It says, complete the second column of the contextual factors chart by providing the requested information listed in each section of the first column and then respond. So you'll fill out the chart. We'll try to find it before you go. But here's the guiding prompt. Listen to this. First item, and all I need you to do, it says, identify your chosen community factor. Okay, period. So you will identify your chosen community factor. Let's say that your chosen community factor is the JC Holiday Library. So that's all you'll put there, JC Holiday Library. Then it says, based on your community factor, identify and describe one possible instructional strategy that you could use in your classroom to further student learning. Now, you may not want to use the library, but what kind of instructional strategy would you use if you wanted to go to the library? That was a community factor. Your community factor could be the Boys and Girls Club, you know, or anything that's in the community that would help you, or it could be the fire station, you know, for early childhood students. So what instructional strategy? We go back, we have lots of them, but we could identifying similarities and differences. Let's just say we're going to use the community factor of the fire station and maybe the police station. And then the strategy is identifying similarities and differences. So your strategy would be when I take them to the 2 places to visit, the fire station and the police station, then the kids can say, well, what's the difference in the vehicles that they use? So the strategy, instructional strategy, is identifying similarities and differences. And then, of course, it says the learning activity would be to what? Have the students identify the differences between and the similarities between the vehicles that are used. So it's very simple. You just have to read and be succinct about your instructional strategy and your learning activity. Okay, so then it says, provide a rationale that explains how the identified strategy connects to the chosen factor. And based on your community factor, identify and describe one learning activity that we just talked about, the differences between the vehicles, you could use in your classroom to further student learning. Then it wants you to identify a district factor. Then you will identify a school factor. Then when you talk about the demographics, you have to choose a demographic factor. You identify and describe one possible instructional strategy that can be used in your classroom and, of course, a learning activity. It continues to repeat itself. Let's look at the communication. Now, when you write your communication letter, step 2, resources and procedures. In your letter, you must Describe how you would use, describe the characteristics of your class, the demographics in your class. And some people say, well, I don't want to tell that. I don't want to discuss that, but you should discuss that, because if you don't, you will get points taken off. Complete the instructional resources chart. No. Interest inventory. Let me get my letter home. I'm sorry. Okay. Based on the demographics of your classroom and your knowledge of the families and communities, construct a communication method that introduces you to your students and their families. Introduces you. Okay. The method of communication could be, but is not limited to, the use of the website, email, a school function, which will probably be a flyer, an activity, or a letter. After creating communication, respond to the guiding prompts below. So in your letter, describe one example of how your communication addresses the demographic differences in your classroom. So in your communication, you have to address the demographic differences in your classroom. Hello, parents. I'm Ruby Bell. I have so many students in my class. They're from a variety of backgrounds. In my class this year, we don't celebrate Christmas, but we do festivals around the world or something like that. And then tell in that letter how you foster interaction among you and your students and their families. You might say, near the Thanksgiving holiday, we normally have a feast when we allow all the families to come and bring their favorite dish or something like that. So that's interacting with your family, but yours would probably be different. So let's go back then. I'm vacillating. Since I'm here, let's talk about the interest inventory. Create or choose a student interest inventory appropriate to your classroom assignment. Administer the inventory to your whole class to gather information relevant to your students' interest and learning preferences, and then respond to the guiding prompts. The guiding prompt says, based on the compilation of information from the whole class inventory, you're going to have to pretend, we're going to talk about that. Analyze one example of how this information would influence an instructional decision that you would make in your classroom. Now, here's what we can do. I know that most of you are still teaching online. Raise your hand if you're still teaching online. Okay. So somehow you can get the interest inventory to the students. If you're not, and you have some students that you can call up, I know you took phone numbers home with you. If you can call your students up, maybe 3 or 4, and I'll take 3 or 4, and just fill out the interest inventory for them would be fine. Are there problems with either one of those? Once you select your interest inventory? No? Okay.
I don't have the students' numbers.
Are you teaching online?
Yes.
Okay, you can, that's fine. How are they getting your assignments?
Through Canvas.
Okay, so can you upload your inventory to Canvas?
I should be able to.
Try that and see.
Okay.
See if you can, once you find it, see if you can upload it.
Okay.
Okay, and if you don't have the phone numbers, maybe you have some children in your, because you have to go through this process. Maybe you have some family children that you can utilize to complete your inventories, 3 or 4, just so that you can have some data to utilize for the purposes of the going through the motion is what it really amounts to. Okay. All right. Let me see. Want to make sure I've covered that before because if I lose you, I'm going to be upset. All right. Let me see if I can find ETS without losing you. Let me get everybody that came in. What I do with it? Oh, just ordered it today. Is there a way that you can upload a photo of the inventory to Moodle? Okay. All right, let's see. Okay. Y'all still there? I'm working. If I lose you, I'm just gonna cry. Okay. Oh, you're gone. Hello. Are y'all still there?
Yeah,
Yes,
we're
we're
still here.
here. We're here.
You see my screen? Because I sure can't see it.
No, we can't see your screen. I
Okay.
can't.
Okay. Thank you. Keep talking to me. Maybe we'll get through this. I hope I can get you back. I'm gonna try to get there. Okay, let's see. Okay. Where are you? Where are you? I knew. Oh, I see. Nope. I don't know where you are. Trying to find you. Okay. I knew I'd lose you. Let's see. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to talk through the rest of this. I found Praxis, but I can't find you back with this one computer. So if I could share my screen, but I can't get back to my, get back to you, and it's here somewhere. Okay, Lord. That Zoom is here. I don't know what's happening. Okay, well, all I can say to you is that you're gonna have to visit the, you're gonna have to visit ETS yourselves and see if you can just look at your documents. I have included in your Moodle shell a copy of the link to each one of those documents. If you would take the time tonight to look over those, that will be fine. How many of you are on your Moodle shell and can open those up?
Which documents, Dr. Bill?
Say what?
Which documents you talking about?
It says PPAT classroom, PPAT task 1 from ETS will show the artifacts you need to upload. You see that? Look under week 1. It says instructional strategies. You see the PPAT classroom demographic scenario.
It says the PPAT assessment task requirements.
PPAT task requirements. PPAT, it says PPAT task 1 from ETS.
Yes.
Will show the artifacts.
Yes, it has it down here because it has the knowledge of students and learning, all that.
Okay, so those are the documents that you will need. Those are the artifacts. It will tell you what you need. I don't know what in the world. But anyway, do you have any questions? You're gonna have to speak because I can't see you anymore.
I have one. Do you want the artifacts in paper format, or do you want them set up how it is on the guiding prompts as far as the
okay. Each one of the artifacts, there's a chart, and I can't show it to you, but when you click on that PPAT task 1 from ETS, the artifacts, there's a chart. There's the instructional resources support chart. You fill it out. There's the contextual factors chart. You will fill it out. So you will fill both of those out, and then you will upload them.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. So you will upload those, and then of course, when you finish your letter, you will upload it as well. And you will also upload your inventory, interest inventory. Who has the iPhone? What's your name, Robinson? Who has the iPhone? Several of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, do you have your textbook? Do you have your
Not yet.
textbook?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Does someone have it that you can scan it to me and I can upload it? Because for those who don't have it, and I can wait for you to get your book. But it's gonna put you a little bit behind. I would do the best I can, but I don't know. Do you have any other questions so I can kind of get busy with, listen, this is what I'm gonna need you to do. I need you to go through and look at those documents. Tonight, I'm gonna make an assignment. I need you to look at those documents tonight. And then, if you have questions, you need to kind of send those to me. There are 4 documents, there are 4 artifacts I need you to look at tonight. I need you to look at the contextual factors chart. I need you to look at the support and the resources chart. I need you to just read over the artifacts for your communication and read over what you need for your student interest inventory. 4 things. Just glance through those. We've covered them pretty much, but I need you to do that. Let's see.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I'm clicking on the right thing. The only thing I have for the artifact is just where it's saying to submit it. I'm not seeing the actual chart unless I'm looking in the wrong place.
You got to go to the ETS website. That's what I had to do.
Yeah.
So you have
Okay.
you have to click under where it says PPAT task 1 from ETS. You have to click there, and then it's gonna say the PPAT assessment task requirements. Scroll down, you'll see task 1, and then you'll see task 1 requirements, task 1 rubric, task 1 instructional and support resources, chart PDF, contextual factors chart PDF, or Word document.
That's right.
Thank you, Jay.
There's a hot link
You're
under that. There's a hot link. If you just click on the link, it'll take you directly to that.
Yes, ma'am, I see it. Thank you.
And then where it says task 1, and you'll see task 1 requirements. If you click on that, then that will tell you what you need as far as your letter and your inventory. And these are the 2 charts that you need to use. And of course, it comes in 2 ways. It's PDF and a Word form. So either one you want to use is fine, just so long as you upload it. And with your guiding prompts, please don't include your artifacts with that document. It's easier for me to read if you just go ahead and answer the questions as it relates to that. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, I'm sorry I lost you. Let me see if I can. If I start another one, I'll probably lose you completely. So, okay, it won't let me. So I'm going to leave that alone. Any questions? Any comments? Oh, and what we will do, if I get a lot of questions, we will have another Zoom. We do not, with this class, we don't Zoom every week. What I have is ask the professor every Monday night. We'll come on. We'll decide what's a good time. I won't come on, but you can send me an email, and I can answer those questions. Now, do you want to meet again next week after you've looked over PPAT so you can have some questions?
Yes.
Right now, it look like it's a lot right now, Dr. Bill.
It is a lot. It's a lot. It is
Yes.
really, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna be honest with this class. Because it is a lot, I have cut out some of the regular assignments for you.
I mean, it might not be hard, but it just look, I don't know.
What, PPAT?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it might be hard. It just, I guess it just looked like it's so good in depth. I don't know.
No, you're right. It is in depth. It is a lot. But it's a lot also. You have to remember that the state is requiring it in order to evaluate the effectiveness of our student teachers. And you're doing it, so you get a heads up. So when you're out in the field, student teaching, at least you say, oh yeah, I remember that, and it's gonna come to you. Our students are doing pretty good with it because we have embedded each one of those tasks in our courses. It is a lot, and it is certainly a lot with us not being in school. It is certainly a lot with us not being in school. But I think you can handle it. It's just to kind of get you acclimated to it and to understand what is required. So take a moment tonight to look over task 1, and we'll meet next Monday at 7.
Okay.
But I need everybody
Thank
to
you.
have, you're welcome. I need everybody to look over it and see if you have any questions, and I'll do my very best to answer them for you. Okay? So I will send out another, I'm gonna try to send an email to follow up with this Zoom meeting. I'm going to set a Zoom meeting for next Monday at 7.
Okay.
And if you have questions, just send them to me. Look at your Moodle shell. Please look over your Moodle shell and check your emails daily. Yes, ma'am.
For when I was looking at the I forgot what in the guidelines, I guess it was, and you know it says cite everything. Does that include our form questions as well, or just our paperwork?
No. Just your papers. Thank you for asking that question. No, for asking that question. You do not have to cite your forums. Just your any activity. Now, if you do a PowerPoint or a Prezi, make sure you put, okay. And as I said, read the chapters in the book that have been assigned. And also, you are welcome to use any of the up-to-date resources, just as long as you cite those. Okay. I don't know if I have any chats because I certainly can't see them. I'm sorry. I knew I shouldn't have left y'all. I'm sorry.
I know, right?
Okay, any questions?
Let me see. The week 1 is that where do I stand? It's just a I know one is a form and the other one is it just a paper?
No, the where do I stand is an inventory, and it's an inventory. It's an inventory, and then it's gonna ask you to explain your results, and you'll do that in the forum.
Okay, so it's 2 separate things.
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Questions? Comments?
I guess we'll survive.
You'll survive. I'm with you. We're in this together. So you'll be all right.
Oh, Lord.
Who said that?
Me, Nancy.
You're gonna be okay. It's a lot. If you feel too overwhelmed, somebody need to give me a holler, okay? I can work with you. We can do what we can do. I think you'll be fine. Like I said, I have cut this shell down a lot.
Well, thank you.
I have cut it down a lot because it is a lot. I thought this is a lot, and under the circumstances, to do the best you can.
We will.
I'm trying to think if there's something else that I can do. I do need you to write. So, and a lot of this is gonna be a what if situation because you're not in school. So you're just gonna have to pretend that you were there. That's all I can say, people.
Okay.
That's all I can say. And I repeat, the purpose is to give you an opportunity to read through it, to see what it's like prior to having to really, really take it. So, and if you follow the guiding prompts that I've given you, I think you'll be fine. Just respond to those. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dr. Ruby. You have a great one.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
I don't know how to say bye to y'all because I can't see you. I don't feel so. Lord have mercy.
Well, we'll see you Monday.
I'm back. Okay.
Are you serious now?
Yeah. Well, hold up. Let me see. Hold up. Before y'all go, you might get lucky.
Oh,
All
Uh-oh.
right. Can y'all see the screen now?
yeah, it says Ruby Bell has
Share it.
Oh.
got it.
Okay.
Yay.
Okay, yay. All right. So let me just show you a couple of things while you're here. Then I promise I'll let you go.
Not a problem.
Okay, thank you. All right, the requirements are here. You can click on that at your convenience. There's a rubric that just tells you what you have. If you can read it to say, okay, I've done a good job. But let's look at this chart. Okay, so that's what it looks like. So it says what types of resources are in the community. It says one example and location. What types of resources are in the building, or what type of resources are in the district, and what type of policies or programs do you have within that district that will help your students be successful? What type of support staff do you have, and what type of instructional materials are used in that class or in that school? Then there are what kind of curriculum programs do you have, what kind of instructional technology is available, and do you have access to student test data? And you probably do. As a matter of fact, you're probably going to have to go on the website for NCDPI and pull that data that you're going to need to put here. Okay, let's see if I can get this one. Okay, the contextual factors chart. You still see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Types of factors. There's community, there's district, and there is school, and there's classroom. And then it just tells you what it's looking for. General context of your students. What grade level are they? What are the developmental levels? And I've included that for those of you who don't have a classroom. You can probably utilize the sample demographics for this. So what you would do would list the factors that they have asked for here, the content area, any other factors. What about the community? Is it urban, suburban, rural? Is it low socioeconomic? Is it medium class? Are they, pretty well-to-do, or do you live in a community with country clubs or whatever? And then it says, what about your district? What's the enrollment? Well, you can go online and utilize a report card in order to find that as it relates to the district where you live. It asks for free and reduced lunch, graduation rates, ethnicities, and the percent of students who have IEPs, who have, it's prayer time, and per pupil expenditure, you can find that. Then of course it asks for the demographics for your school, what's the enrollment, how many students receive free and reduced lunch at your school, what is the AYP data, the average yearly progress, and so on and so forth, and you can read that. And then it goes into the classroom demographics, ethnicities, what are the genders, are there any special needs, any cultural characteristics that you can share. And it says knowledge of students, what are the language needs, if any, and those kinds. That one is self-explanatory. It's really, really easy. So I think it's 2 pages. The other one is 2 pages. So you just fill that out based on your classroom and your school system, okay? And then you will upload those. And as I said, there's a PDF form, which you probably won't use, but the Word form will allow you to save and then upload to your Moodle shell. Okay? Okay. All right, man. I'm going to say good night. And I'm going to see if I can find where this recorded and kind of save it. Any questions, any comments, any concerns?
Not right now. I just need
Okay.
to really thoroughly read.
Yeah, just read, just take your time. If you have some bumps and bruises or some challenges that you just can't get over, I'm here. Send me an email and we can talk.
Yes,
Okay?
ma'am.
All right. Okay, good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Stay
Thank
safe.
you.
Stay well.
You too.
Keep praying.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good night.
Good
Good night.
night.